Hey, 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 it's your girl, Bobby J. Hey, did you see that? Woo! Did y'all see that? Season 2, episode 6 of Tyler Perry's Sisters? Because that's what we're talking about. That look. Everybody had a look in this episode. But before we go on, I just want to give a shout out to Bobby Ray. Bobby, thank you for always commenting and supporting the Sisters channel. Thank you so much. And I just got to say, I love this dramedy comedy thing going here. I'm loving this. This is what I need now with everything that's going on with this election. It's just too much. I'm so sick of hearing about the White House and everything else. I can't wait till it's over and January 20th is here. Hallelujah. I can't wait. So this show keeps me laughing and I love it because there's always something funny going on. I like this one. So anyway, in this episode, we find that Andy looks like she's trying to move on past Gary. She's trying to get past him, you know, and she just tired of his jealousy and we find out Calvin needs a place to live in this episode. And that Danny is still pissed at Preston. And what else? And then Zach is hooking up with somebody. Yeah, I guess y'all know who it is too. He got someone else. Anyway, you know it starts off with Andy because it ended with Andy leaving and telling Gary he asked for his money back and she's like, I ain't giving you shit. And so she left out the precinct. She pissed. She calls Karen and she's going off on the phone. And Karen's like, well, what's wrong? Why don't you calm down? How you do? You know, she's real calm. And I'm like, Karen, real calm. And she finally asked her, why are you talking to me like that? You know, Karen, why are you talking to me like that? Where you at? She's like, I'm in the car. Oh, she in the car? Yeah, I'm in the car. She said, oh. Like, she know that she with Aaron. But she kept telling her to calm down and stuff. And she basically said, we'll talk. Okay, we'll talk when we get to the club. Because they all going to the club to party for Maurice. So, Karen, oh Lord help me. Andy hangs up. She done, you know. And she calls Paris. Fine, Paris. She calls him. I'm like, go ahead, girl. Call Paris. And she invites him to the gay club. Do you have a problem? And he's like, fine, I'll be there. You know he's going to be there. So I'm like, okay, all right now. And then they showing Zach and Fatima. They out drinking and stuff. I guess they ate too. And not for nothing, but Fatima seemed like everything she was saying looked like she was hitting on him anyway. Even though she kept acting like she wasn't. That's how it seemed to me, the words she was saying. You know, mind you, she's sitting out there with Zach, talking to him, bailing him out. She's supposed to be at that party that Andy invited her to. She was supposed to go to the party. And she ain't never made it, that's for sure. Anyhow, what else? So Zach and Fatima talking. And she's asking him about his job. And he's like, I probably don't have that job no more. She said, well, did you call him? And he's like, no, I ain't call him because what for? To find out I ain't got no job no more. And she's like, I see you just got to do everything your way. You just don't want to listen to nobody. And he's like, what? She's like, then call. So he calls. And of course, he ended up still having his job and stuff. And she's like, see? And then she tells him that she likes him. But the way she said it, I like you. I was like, Even though she was just saying, like, she trying to help him and offer him help. That's what she claimed. I don't know. But they get another drink, and then they leave. And they walking all tipsy and stuff. You know, they walking, and she's like, no, I ain't drunk. You know, they both saying they ain't drunk. And she's offering him a ride home. And he's like, no, that's good. I'll walk. And I don't live far from here. He's saying apartment. She's like, stop playing. And she finally realized that Zach don't have nowhere to live. She figured it out. Oh, you was living with her, and now y'all done broke up, and you ain't got nowhere to go. And she invited him back to her house. And I was like, what is up here Fatima. You know, I see her with this job she have in a law firm. I would see her with somebody with some money or something like that. So that's why it seemed like to me, yeah, she was trying to help him. Y'all tell me in the comment section, because maybe I got this wrong. Anyway, so they at the club, Karen and Aaron show up, and Andy's there, and all the gang shows up, and they sitting around talking and stuff, and he gets everybody drinks. He gives them drinks, and Danny's all pissed with the attitude. She's drinking. They don't even know what they drinking. Come to find out it was tequila. And she was like, get me another one. Ooh, it's hot in here. So they doing the tequila. She get on the tequila. I need some air. It's hot all of a sudden. Must be having a private summer. Ooh. So she gets into the tequila, and they ask him what is wrong with Danny. And Danny don't want to tell. She rolling her eyes, her arms folded, all this stuff. So Sabrina said she got handcuffed to the bed, and they like, ooh, you know, and they like, don't you like that stuff and everything? And she wouldn't say nothing. She pissed. Her head is all turned. And they finally, so Sabrina jumps in and said, he was talking about, hey gal, make you beg for it. Gonna make you beg for it. They like, ooh. But I like the way Sabrina said it, because she almost sound like him. And I was laughing. But they were like, really? He made you do that? That's crazy. So then, you know, Danny's all pissed, and Danny looks at Karen and said, yeah, well, what about Zach? Where's Zach? Because she's looking at Aaron there. What about Zach? Where he at? And she's like, don't start. They're like, don't start. And she's like, is he out of jail? You know, is he out of jail? And she said, you know, he done lost his job behind that. And she's like, that ain't my fault. I don't know. She said, then she go, is he coming here? Did you invite him here? And she's like, I don't know. Is he out of jail? You know, they just back and forth with that. So they passed that. Then they showing Calvin and Maurice is holding Calvin up. He's like, come on, we got to get there to the club. You know, it's time to go. And you know Maurice and his diva self. Look, honey. I'm not going to be late. They just too early. The guest of honor never arrives on time. And I ain't going to say the curse words he was saying. But he was like, please. So then that's when Calvin admits that he needs a place to live. And he's like, but you got money? He said, no, I have to pay my father's, hospital bills, medical bills. I don't really have it like that. And he found out that Maurice had a 3-bedroom apartment. So he was trying to get one of those rooms. And Maurice was like, I don't know about that. Because I can't be waking up to your wonderfulness, and I don't know what I might do to you. And he's just going on. He's like, stop playing. And he's like, I ain't playing. You don't know. All that lusciousness of you. I don't know. He said, and then after that, he said, really, I have, what was he say? I have my friends come. My company comes, and I'm very vocal when I'm being pleased. He's doing his show. He doing all of that. And the neighbor upstairs knocking on the walls, telling him to stop. Because, he says, see, she get on my nerves. She always got a problem with me doing that. So, that's when Calvin was like, nah, I don't want to be hearing that. I don't want to hear that at all. So, he's like, why don't you ask Sabrina? And she's like, no. And Sabrina, you better not tell Sabrina. I don't want Sabrina to know. But see, I hate when these scripts are like this, when there's two people who like each other, ain't nobody talking. It's like talk. Sabrina been wanting him to move in too. I think the girls was trying to get her to do that. But anyway, so they finally arrived to the club. They in the car fussing all the way to the club. He told me he got on something like a Spanx or something, a girdle, whatever. It's too tight. It's killing him. And he's like, oh, you know about all this gay stuff. You don't know what these are. He's telling Calvin, and they make it to the club, and he walks in all diverish and stuff, and everybody's clapping and happy to see him. So that was good. That was good. But before they arrived, everybody's sitting at the table, and everybody's talking and saying stuff. And Danny's getting a little tipsy because she drinking because she pissed about Preston. And she goes in, she checking out a bartender. And one of the gay workers there, one of the guys, he comes over. And, you know, she's thinking everybody in there is gay. And he lets her know that the bartender's straight, that all the bartenders, most of the bartenders, I think he said, are straight up in there. She's like, really? So she get up to go over there. And she like, oh, I ain't got no money to buy a drink. She trying to get money from somebody to buy a drink. And she don't have no money. Nobody gave her money. So she just went over there anyway and started flirting with the bartender and stuff. And they were having a good conversation. And then at some point, he asked her about her man. Because she's saying how good looking he is. And he's like, you beautiful woman. You must have a man or something. She's like, no. She says she didn't have one. No, she didn't say that. What she said is, you need to stop and just give me another drink. And got the guy to give her another drink. So that was cool. Then what else happened? This episode had me going, oh, y'all gotta give me a minute because I need a drink. So back at the table, Andy is ordering shots for everybody. Everybody drinking. Everybody in the club getting tipsy. That's how I felt when I was watching this episode. That song was in my head. Everybody in the club getting tipsy because they were drinking like crazy. I guess all of them were going through their little personal things. And this was a chance for them to drink and get it all out and dance and have a good time. So Karen says no, she don't want no more shots. That her and Aaron wouldn't have it. She's like, wow, why you don't want a shot? And they're like, why you don't want a shot? She's like, no, I'm not drinking. She's like I know you drink. And he said, no. Aaron goes, you could have a drink and I'll just have soda. She's like, oh, so he don't drink. That's what Andy's saying. Oh, he don't drink. And he's like, nah, I'm in recovery. Recovery? And she's looking at Karen like, leaning here. You ain't tell me you dating a man in recovery. She said, I ain't tell you a lot of stuff. I know we got to catch up. She said, So they're going through all of that. Then Danny comes back over and she's like, I want to leave. I'm going home. And they all got on the dance floor and was dancing. And they asked her not to leave. And they talking and to stay another half an hour, buy her a drink. She done had about 4 or 5. All of them was drinking. I'm telling you, they all was like tipsy. They all on the dance floor with their men's. And she was the only one that didn't have a man. Now that I think about it, she didn't have a man on the dance floor. And the bartender was working. So then Maurice comes in all his fabulousness and drag. I think it was bluish purple in the hair. And he looked fabulous, okay? And he got up and made a heart-wrenching speech about the LGBTQ community. And, he talked about what he went through and how people, are mean. And anyway, he gave a lovely speech. And they were all clapping. And he said, now, let's push these damn tables back and let's get this party started. Hey! I would love to have been there because I love partying. So that was that. What else? Who else did they show? They went back to, what's her name? Danny, sitting there upset by herself. She's sitting by herself, and Maurice goes over and said, bitch, what's wrong with you? Why are you sitting there by yourself? And they going back and forth, right? She's like, don't start with me now. And they going at it, calling each other names, whatever. And he's like, you look like you need a dance. You need to dance or something. And he grabs her and puts her on the dance floor with that bartender. Somehow, I guess he had free time. And because he knew everybody at the club, he got the bartender to come and dance with her. And she was acting like she didn't want to dance. And she making faces. And the guy started getting up on her. And she started smiling. trying to act shy. So they all was in a good place. Then all of a sudden, Andy was really drunk. Oh, no, I missed the part. While they're at that table, Parrish walks in. And Parrish walks in, and he's like, hey, how you doing? She said, good now that you here. I said, oh, she ready. She ready. I think she was ready for some revenge stuff going on here. And so they, like I said, they all drinking. They out on the dance floor. Come to find out, Parrish knows Aaron. They supposedly play ball together. So that was like, everybody's looking at each other like, oh, okay. And they both fine, you know. So I was like, oh, I wonder what that team looked like. All these fine brothers up there. Shoot. Anyway, I just got to make myself hot thinking about it. Lord help me. Whew. Anyway. So Andy gets so drunk that, you know, even Aaron was like, you know, your friend is drunk. You want to look at her on the dance floor? She said, oh, no, she just going through some stuff. Karen said she was just working some stuff out. That's all. But then Andy comes over there and says she leaving. And she going with leaving with her Parrish. And she's like, no, honey, I don't think that's a good idea. What you doing? You know where you going? Where you going? She's like, I'm sure he got a place, apartment somewhere. She's like, no, where you going? You, baby, you drunk. She's like, look, I'm grown. I'm not drunk. I'm grown. And oh, she did not like that. Karen was trying to stop her. Even Aaron was looking like, he kept looking at the guy like that guy was suspect. I don't know if y'all saw that, but the way Aaron was looking at him was like he was suspect. And I said, do he know something about this guy that we don't know? Anyway, so she kept saying she was going to go, and Karen was like, she going to let her. She want to go ahead, let her. And to me, I would have found out the address. Aaron said, you sure you don't want to go with her, follow her, whatever? And she's like, no, that's okay. And so she left with the guy, which that was very disturbing to me. But, you know, you all came together. Give me an address. Give me something, you know. Anyhow, what else happened? I'm trying to see if I'm missing something, because I know I'm missing some stuff. Because they had a lot of scenes. Oh, they had the scene with Calvin and Sabrina. And Sabrina, they on the dance floor. And Sabrina's like, when you said that you love me, what did you mean? You love me like a friend, or you love me like? He said, no, I love you. And I was like, oh, stop. So he got Sabrina, and he said, you the only one I ever wanted. Like, you who I want. I was like, oh, shoot. I'm sorry, this episode had me hot, because everybody was dancing, and I get hot when I be dancing. Everybody was dancing and getting it in. Anyhow, so that was good. I was happy for Sabrina. I really was, because she really, really likes him. And I think they belong together. And I think he should move in with her. That's my thought. And then what happened? I think one of the last things that happened was, because I feel like I'm missing something. I know everybody was having their little moments. They showed Karen and Aaron talking together about stuff. And then they showed Calvin and Sabrina. And then it was Parrish and Andy. They were showing them. So there was little quick scenes here and there. And then there was Maurice and Danny. So I have everything. But the last thing, one of the last things that happened in this episode, which was the icing on the cake, is Fatima gets to her house with, Zach. Okay? Hello? And she never made it to the party, I guess. And she's talking to Zach, and she asked him if he wanted another drink. And I'm sitting there going, how much drinking was going on in this episode? Everybody was drinking. I got drunk watching TV. Just watching it, I felt tipsy. And they all are in there drinking, and he gets another drink, and he didn't want to go home with her because he was like, she gonna want to be with him, you know, and smash. And he just got out of a relationship, and you know, he don't think it's a good idea. And she was like, ain't nobody gonna want you. That's you who gonna want me. But like I told y'all, Fatima kept, the way she was saying stuff just seemed like she wanted him or wanted to do something, and I didn't understand why. I'm sorry, y'all. My camera just cut off in the middle of me telling my doing my review. I don't know what was going on. Anyway, so I was telling y'all about Fatima and Zach. They're at her house. They're talking. Next thing you know, she said, I'm just trying to help you. I just want to help you. I like you. You're funny, blah, blah, blah. And he's sitting up there. He done took off his shirt. You see all his tats and stuff. And he have on an undershirt and the tats on his arms, nice arms and everything. And I guess she was feeling it. And they, like I said, they having another drink. Everybody got, it's about to be on and popping. Y'all know what alcohol does. Stop trying to play and act like you don't know what alcohol does. Everybody wanted some in this episode. Anyway, and I'm sure everybody went home with somebody in between this episode and next week. But anyway, next thing you know, she gets up. She trying to walk past him. And he's standing right there. And her hands are the ones that go up behind his back. Because she knew what she was doing around his head. And she reached up kind of into him. Because he said, you sure you want to do this? You sure you want to do this? You sure you want this? Next thing you know, they was on the couch. And she was on top of him. And then he got up and picked that big ass up and was rubbing it and up against the wall. And I was like, woo! Honey, I was like, I'm hot again. See what I'm saying? This was a hot episode. It was very hot. Yes, it was. But that was it for this episode of Sisters. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen next week because you saw the previews for next week. They look good. People ended up waking up in people's beds and all kind of stuff. So we'll see what happens. But I did see that guy Parrish was telling Andy, do you want some coffee? So he wasn't going to take advantage of her because she was drunk. And that is a plus because I was just thinking this is not going to end well with her leaving with this guy, But anyway, I hope everybody has a blessed week. Going forward, hopefully all this stuff, we don't have to hear any more about this election and the White House, even though I know we're going to hear it. But everybody try to have a good week. And Barbie J, I'll see you next Wednesday. Peace.